think we're live. Hold on, let's double check. Make sure we are live. All right. All right. Let's make sure we are live. All right, beautiful. We are live on the X. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Good. Good. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Good morning, Carol. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for that follow. Thank you for the follow. Yes, sir. All right. All right. Hold on one second. There we go. Hold on. Let me fix a glitch here. Let me get those announcements out. All that good stuff. All right. There we go. Bot right there. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. All right. There we go. Let me get this over here. All right. All right. There we go. All right. All right. There we are. Got everything all set there. Okay, let me get all the announcements out on all the platforms here. Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. 1 second. 1 second. How's everybody doing today? Hope you guys are having a fantastic Tuesday. I know I am. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday. You know what I mean? There we go. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. There we go. All right. Beautiful. Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this intro started. All right. Yes. All right. Ooh, hold on 1 second. Put this over here. All right. That's not what I wanted. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this intro started. What's up, guys? It's Double Nix, and welcome to another episode of Microcap Mornings. I am your host with the most. They call me DBL Nix in the house, aka the Rainmaker. And I am here with the lovely Serengeti specialist herself. She likes to hang around the tall weeds, the high trees, the low seas, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she likes 2 cups of coffee. Other times she likes to jet ski. Other times she likes to regular ski. Other times she likes to get shot at the cannon and she goes, wee! Other times she likes to go to RBs and watch videos of puppies and kitties. Other times she likes to go into the stock market. And other times, she'll go to Mickey D's. Other times she'll go to Wendy's. Other times she'll go to the lovely Burger King. We call her DBM Moms. All right. Actually, wait. There was a bit more. Wasn't there? Yes. All right. And she does go into the stock market and she finds them A, B, C, Ds. After all, she did call FATN, INLF, and NPT. We call her DB Moms. There we go. Now we got it. There we go. There we go. That's the one right there. That's the flavor. That's the flavor right there. All right. So right now, just taking a look at the stonks here. We called quite a few. We called quite a few today. All right. So for the first up, we got a couple of stonks here. We called today NPT. We called NPT early in the morning. NPT. All right, hold on. NPT. We actually called this stock for pre-market for our private Discord. Prior to its run up 269%, 269% right there. We called NPT prior to that run up 269%. All right. So we got that going on right there. Hold on. Let me get this here. Bot right there. Let me just copy something real quick. Boom. There we go. Beautiful. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, yes, we called NPT pre-market for our private Discord prior to its run up 269%. 269%. Yeesh. All right. We called also FATN Foxtrot Alpha Tango November. All right. And we called that prior to its 104% run. 104% run right there. We also called INLF. All right. INLF prior to its 82% run. 82% run right there. And yeah, that's what we got going on, folks. That is what we got going on. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share, because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. And of course, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different. And the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cash, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And ladies and gentlemen, yeah, be sure to check it out. Check it out, because we got all sorts of crazy good stuff there. You know, crazy good stuff right there. We got all sorts of wonderful scanners, newsrooms, chats filled with amazing people who like to help each other grow and like to basically, grow together. You know what I mean? They like to grow together as a big community. Because, what's better than making money on your own, making money with other people and sharing the joy and sharing that happiness of making that money. You know what I mean? Who doesn't like making money? All right. So, yeah. Be sure to check out that 4-day trial for the real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check it out. Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. All right. Let's make sure everything's all copacetic here. Everything copacetic. Yes, it is. Beautiful. Okay. Marty, good morning. He says, good morning, Doubles. Good morning, Marty. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope you are doing well. All right. So, let's see here. Let's make sure we got everything all set up. All right. Let's see here. Make sure that this is working. All right. There we go. All right. There we go. All right, so let's get ourselves all set up and ready to go here. All right, consistency says KXIN 100% short interests. All right, we'll take a look at it. Night Rogue says, good morning, DBL. Good morning, Night Rogue. Good morning. Good morning, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Hope you are doing well. All right, so let's start off with NPT. Let's start off with NPT firstly. NPT had a nice run up 269%. All right, had a nice run upward over here. Bop, right there. All right, but then formed a bit of a double top right over here at $14.95, $14.95, and then pretty much just went and made a bit of a descending wedge over here. All right, but it needs to break above this VWAP, needs to break above this descending wedge, and needs to break this double top over here for it to really be schmexy to me. But right now, NPT really needs to just break above that down that little descending wedge there and the VWAP. So we'll put this up here. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Right there. All right. NPT needs to break the descending wedge, the VWAP, and the double top. So it's got a ways to really go before it can even be remotely schmexy again. It is up 59% as of now, but did have a nice run up 269%. Let's take a look at the float and volume for this. Float is 4 million. Volume is 10 million for this stunk right here. All right, does it have any news? Does it have any news? Nope. Only last bit of news on January 16th. So it moved up on little to no news. Well, it didn't move up on any news, actually, but as of now, it basically needs to break this descending wedge over here, needs to break this VWAP, and needs to break the double top for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Let's take a look at something else here. Let's take a look at FATN, and then we will look at KXIN for our friend consistency. All right, let's take a look over here. All right, now, as of now, FATN is on a bit of a downtrend over here, a little bit of a downtrend. Had a nice run up, 104%. Had a nice run upward, 400%. Right over here, bop, right there. All right, but then pulled back and then fell below the VWAP. So now it has to break this downtrend and also has to break the VWAP. So that's what we got going on right there. So FATN, as of now, FATN came up. They went back down. Needs to break the down trend and the VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to Mia. Now let's see. Consistency asked for KXIN. KXIN, let's see how it's doing here. KXIN, very choppy, ladies and gentlemen, very choppy. I see choppiness on all fronts here. All right, let's see here. KXIN. Oh, hold on. Let me get rid of that. All right, there we go. All right, so KXIN has a lot of indecisive wicks over here, over here, over here, 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 here. A lot of indecisive wicks over here, and then 2 more down there. So as of now with this stock, it's got a lot of indecisive wicks all over the place, which indicates low volume. It is down 5.9%. Short interest is definitely there. I mean, I could say that for sure because, yeah, there's not a lot of volume for this stock. There is not a lot of volume. So we'll see what happens with this stock. KXIN, not a lot of volume. So we got that going on right there. KXIN, very low volume. All right. All right, there we go. So, there we go. There we go. All right, Alex Martin. Alex, good morning. NPT. Oh, I set a limit order at 765, and I had it set for market hours, so it never went through. I missed the whole push and had a perfect entry. Missed it by a foolish mistake. Got in FATN when it consolidated last night, sold out this morning. My ride to the job site made 20%, 7% on the small trade. Well, hey, look, I mean, at least you made money on FATN, right? At least you made money on FATN. NPT, yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I felt that. I felt that, Alex. No, I felt that, man. That happens. That happens. Don't no worries, no worries. It happens, man. Sometimes mistakes happen. These things happen. It be like that sometimes, Well, no need to, don't beat yourself up about it. Just remember, there's always more stonks out there. There's always going to be more opportunities out there. You just gotta, be patient, and it will pay off. You know what I mean? But yes, definitely congratulations on FATN. I'm glad you made 27% on that trade. I'm very glad you made 27% on that trade. We'll take a look at FATN a little bit later as well, because actually, you know what? I'm guessing you just came on, so we'll look at it again. We'll take a look at it again. All right. So yeah, KXIN very low on volume, needs volume for it to go up. If you got short interest, I don't really know what to tell you there. But as far as it going up, very low likelihood in my opinion that it would. So we'll see what happens there. All right, we'll see what happens there, and let's see. All right. So let's see what other stonks we got here. All right, let's take a look at NPT. NPT. All right, we're gonna take a look at it. It keeps on doing that thing. Hold on. There we go. I don't know why it doesn't pull up NPT on this. All right, give me 1 second. 1 second. Un segundo. All right. But yeah, FATN is a lot higher than NPT is right now. But NPT did have that nice run, ladies and gentlemen. It did have that nice run, so I'll give it that credit. All right, but again, NPT needs to break this descending wedge, needs to break the VWAP, and needs to break that double top right there. But it did have a nice run up 269%, so we did have that going on right there. NPT needs to break the descending wedge. All right, needs to break above that descending wedge for it to be so much mexi to mia. Let's take a look at FATN. FATN again. Looks like it's curling off the downtrend slightly. Looks like it's curling off that downtrend slightly right now. All right, so we'll see what happens here. But FATN curling off the downtrend slightly. There we go. Curling slightly off the downtrend. There we go. All right. XTKG. XTKG needs to break the descending wedge over here. It did have a little bit of a move up, but pulled back a little bit, fell below the VWAP. Needs to break the descending wedge and the VWAP for it to be so much mexi to mia. So XTKG needs to break the descending wedge and the VWAP for it to be so much mexi to mia. There we go. All right, PLTU. Let's take a look at PLTU. All right, PLTU showing little increments of volume, really. Little increments. Hold on, let me actually go back on that part. All right, it has indecisive wicks over here. PLTU has 576,000 volume. Float as of now is unknown, but it did have a bit of a move upward off of this area over here. So it is on a bit of an uptrend, but it doesn't look like it's moving on high volume here. So we'll see what happens here. It looks like it's moving on low volume. So we'll see what goes on. PLTU needs to remain friends with the trend and stay above that VWAP. So PLTU needs to remain friends with the trend and stay above the VWAPA for it to be so much mexi to mia. There we go. That's what we got going on right there. PLTG. Let's take a look at PLTG. PLTG, very, very choppy as of now. Very choppy. A lot of indecisive wicks here. Indecisive wicks here. one here, another one here, and another one over there. So very, very choppy movement. Doesn't look like it's moving on much volume as of now. So we got that going on right there. It's moving on 58,000 volume. Float as of now is unknown. We'll take a look and see if we can find it here. Yep, nope. It's not out yet, the float. But it is very, very, very choppy. Very choppy. Not looking too schmexy as of this point in time. So we'll see what goes on. But right now, PLTG, low volume. Very low volume. PLTG, low volume movement. Not looking too schmexy there. Not feeling that one. XTKG, again, let's take a look at it. Looks like it's trying to curl off that descending wedge right there. Take a look, bop right there. All right, needs to break that VWAP. So XTKG as of now, XTKG trying to curl off the descending wedge, needs to break the VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. TIRX. All right. Needs to break the descending. Well, actually, this isn't even really descending wedge. It's just a pennant. It's just a pennant, really. So, needs to break this pennant right over here. All right. And needs to break above it. Needs to break above this VWAP right here because right now it's currently underneath the VWAP, up 23%. So, we got that going on right there. But TIRX needs to break the pennant and needs to break the VWAP. So, TIRX, as of now, needs to break the pennant and the VWAP because this could potentially be a bull pennant. But it has to break above that VWAP for it to really be so much interesting to me because right now, it's whatever, you know what I mean? GXAI. Let's take a look at GXAI. Having some movement upward over here. A little bit of movement upward, bop right here. All right, up 40%. Has a bit of a bull pennant forming right over here. It is above the VWAP, so we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. We'll take a look at that right there. GXAI needs to break above the bull pennant pattern right here. So we'll see what goes on there. We will see what goes on there. All right. Alex says, can you check out NAMM for me? Be the init around for. All right. Let's take a look at NAM. All right. So currently, as of now, NAM is $4.56. You said you were in it at $4 and so for $4. So if you're in it for around $4, and yeah, you made a nice little profit there. It is currently up 16% as of now. All right. Has a bit of a double top. Well, I can't even really call it double top. It's just more of a resistance line here. Has a bit of a resistance line going on over here. Not a lot of volume as of now. NAMM, let's take a look at the float and volume. Float is unknown. Volume is currently 608.1 thousand. So it's moving on volume that I would assume normally is low, but again, I don't know the float as of now because it's not really available to us yet. So we'll see what happens there. NAM doesn't have, well, it has news that came out on the 26th that their shares halted, but other than that, there's no real news on this stock we're here. But it is also moving on some low volume. I can tell just by looking at this little wick right over here. Not a lot of volume to be moving on, but it is moving above that resistance line. So I will give it credit where credit's due. It's moving above the resistance line right now, so that's good. That's very good news. All right. Let's take a look over here. Let's get some support and resistance lines right over here. Bop, right there. All right. As of now, NAMM is testing the $4.60 line, which is the high point. It is testing the high. So can it break above it? We'll have to see. We shall see. But it has to stay above $4.57 and break above $4.60 for it to be really schmexy to mya. So we'll see what happens there. Has to stay above 457 and break above 460. That's really what it has to do there for it to continue to go up. But if you did come into it at around $4 is right around. Hold on, stand by. Right there. All right. So as of now, yeah, You basically have, this is basically where you are. This is where you came in. This is where it is now. So as of now, it's it's made quite a hefty profit for you. So there you go. Yeesh. Good stuff, Alex. Good stuff, man. I like that. I like that. NAMM moving up on low volume, needs to continue, needs to break the high of day. NAMM moving up on low volume, needs to break the high of day. There we go. There we go. So we got that going on right there. All right. Juanmar asks for TIRX, please. Let's take a look at TIRX. TIRX. All right. TIRX. He's asking if it goes to 35 cents. I personally don't know where these stocks will end up going, but I can just say this. It really needs to break this pennant. It is currently at 9 cents right now. 35 cents is all the way up here. Okay. It's all the way up here. So it's got a ways to go before it could get to 35 cents. As of now, it is only 9 cents and change. So we'll see what happens with it. It is showing some choppiness, some indecisive wicks as well. If you take a look real close over here, you got indecisive wicks over here and tiny ones over here, but nothing as bad as this. All right, so it needs a bit more volume for it to really break above that pennant and then break above that VWAP right there for it to be somewhat interesting to me. But otherwise, man, you know how it is, ladies and gentlemen. You know how it is. All right, so let's see. Oh, excuse me. Let me get rid of that. Bop right there. All right, so yeah, as of now, TIRX needs to break above this pennant, needs to break above this VWAP for it to be somewhat interesting to me. Otherwise, it's just you know what I mean? So TIRX, as of now, TIRX needs volume to break the pennant and the VWAP for it to be somewhat interesting to me. There we go. That's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on. Let's take a look at FATN. FATN. All right, FATN as of now still trying to curl its way on up. Still trying to curl its way on up. Is kind of struggling a little bit to keep the uptrend. So we'll see what happens. But FATN, I mean, needs to remain friends with the trend there. FATN needs to remain friends with that slight uptrend for it to be so much mexy to meow. There we go. There we go. Alex says, thank you. Of course, man. Of course. Our pleasure. Our pleasure. INLF. INLF. All right. Let's take a look at INLF. As of now, INLF is below the VWAPA. Below the VWAPA right now. All right. Let's take a look over here. Bop right there. Bop right there. All right, INLF as of now has formed a bit of a pennant over here. A little bit of a pennant, but it is also a bit choppy. Sometimes it's a little bit choppy. Nothing crazy. But I will say this. I'm keeping an eye on these little wicks right over here because they are a bit choppy. But other than that, it doesn't seem like it's doing too bad. INLF as of now. Oh, excuse me. INLF, as of now, currently has 6 million float, 14 million volume. So as of now, it's actually got the volume for it. It does have some volume there. So we got that going on right there. So disregard that little thing. All right. As of, hey, put bad. There we go. There you go. Thank you. All right. So INLF, as of now, needs to break above this little pennant over here, Needs to break this VWAP. It does have the volume for it. INLF has a 14 million volume, 6 million float. So we'll need to see what happens there because the float is reasonable. Volume is higher than the float. So it needs to break above that pennant. Needs to break above that pennant for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. DBO moms, can you hand me some water, please? Thank you. All right, so yeah, that's what we got going on. It looks like it's trying to curl above that pennant, actually. Just looks like it's trying to curl a little bit above that pennant. It's still below the VWAP, but it looks like it's trying to curl and break above the VWAP. So we'll see what happens there. INLF, curling off the pennant, needs to break the VWAPA for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. Let's get a share party going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 700. Let's get to 700, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Let's get to 700. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. SOAR. Let's take a look at SOAR. SOAR seems to be moving up nicely. Had a nice little move up over here. All right. Had a nice little move up going on. All right. Is currently on the uptrend and climbing. Broke above the VWAP, so it's got that going on right there. Is on a bit of an uptrend as of now. So let's take a look over here. SOAR is on the uptrend. Let's see about that float. Float is 9 million. Volume is 13 million, so it does have good volume going on over there. SOAR is on the uptrend. Climb, baby, climb. Climb, baby, climb. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, we'll see what happens with SOAR there. But right now, it's looking good. It's looking good. Let's take a look at XTKG. All right, there we go. All right, so XTKG came up, but then had a bit of a double top over here, right here at the 43-cent mark, and then pulled its way back down. So as of now, XTKG needs to break that VWAP and also needs to break that double top. XTKG needs to break the double top and the VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. There we go. There we go. All right. What other stonks we got going on here? What other stonks we got? What do we got? What do we got? Let me add them. Let me add them. All right. Let's see here. Let's take a look at the requests here. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look. 1 sec. All right. Oh, Night Rogue says ASST, please. All right, sure. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at ASST. ASST. All right. ASST, very, very choppy here. A lot of choppiness going on here. A lot of choppiness. So, like before with ASST, it's normally very choppy. All right. Has a bit of a channel going on here. A little channel. Right? A little bit of channel time. Channel time. It's channel time. Channel time. There we go. All right. Indecisive wicks here. Indecisive wicks here. Indecisive wicks here. Indecisive wicks here. A lot of indecisive wicks. So it is very, very choppy as of now. ASST barcoding. A little bit of barcoding going on there. So ASST as of now. ASST barcoding right now. ASST barcoding needs volume to break the choppiness and the channel for it to be so much schmexy to meow. It needs to break that channel for it to be so much schmexy to meow. And since you guys normally ask for the stuff, BYND, it's another popular stonk right there. Another popular stonk. Let's see here. All right. BYND, again, moving on low volume. I could tell just by looking at it. A lot of indecisiveness over here. A lot of indecisiveness over here. 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 All right. So you got that going on right there. That's what we got going on. Is on the uptrend. Is on the uptrend right there. So let's take a look over here. Trend line. There we go. Had a bit of a move upward over here, but it does have a nice resistance point right over here. All right. At the 76-cent mark. That is a resistance line for it. So BYND, not a lot of volume. Very, very choppy movement. So BYND, low volume, needs to break the resistance at 76 cents there for it to really be so much mexy to me, but also just needs volume. So BYND needs volume to break the resistance lines and the choppiness. There we go. Volume. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Let's see what else we got. What other stocks we got today? What other stocks we got? And ladies and gentlemen, let's get a share party going. Let's get a share party going, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Share party, share party, share party. Come on now. Let's get a share party going. Let us begin. Let us get share party. Let us get share party. There we go. Come on now. 1 second. 1 second. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Pop right there. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. Let's see here. Let's take a look. All right. So, somebody requested mRNA. mRNA. Okay. Sure. I'll take a look at it. mRNA. All right. So, we got choppiness everywhere. Choppiness here. Choppiness here. Choppiness over here. A lot of choppiness over here. 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 And here. As a matter of fact, you know what? Just make that one big circle. And make this one big circle too. Just make all this one big circle. Bop. Look at all that. All that chop. All right. Has Q4 earnings confirmed in 10 days from now on Friday, February 13th, just before the market opens. It is currently up 0.8%, but is moving on very low volume. This is Moderna Inc. up 42.89%. Oh, $42.89. It's a bit expensive as well. And up 0.8%. Very choppy as of now. Low volume. Not looking too schmexy as of now. mRNA. mRNA. Very choppy and expensive. Needs volume to stay above the VWAPA and break that choppiness. This stock, me personally, I don't like it. I don't like it right now. Kind of low-key trash. PTIR, PTIR. Let's take a look. Let's take a look over here. All right, PTIR, as of now, has an 896,000 volume, unknown float. All right, does have a two instances of real choppiness there, but other than that, should be fine. All right, should be okay, but I don't trust it, me personally. Right, let's take a look over here. Let's take a look over here. Right, looks to be moving downward as of now. Could potentially be a descending wedge, but it is falling. Nope, never mind. It's just a downtrend. Never mind. Never mind. Just a downtrend. Just a downtrend. Not looking schmexy. All right. PTIR popped up a little bit, then dropped. Moved on some very low volume. Fell below the VWAPA. So PTIR needs volume to curl above the VWAPA. PTIR needs volume to break the to break the downtrend and the VWAPA. There we go. That's what we got going on. That is what we got going on right there. So yeah, that's what we got going on, ladies and gentlemen. NUKK, somebody, let's see here. Let's take a look at NUKK. Popped up on the chart there. Okay. Yep. Went up, then dropped back down. All right. Had a double top right here at the $3.09 mark. Moved up, then moved back down. All right. All right. Needs to break this. Needs to break above this descending. What? Nope. Never mind. It's just booty. It's just booty. Never mind. NUKK, total booty. Has unconfirmed Q4 earnings due in 14 days on Tuesday, February 17th after the market close. NUKK needs to break the downtrend and that double top right there. Needs to break the downtrend. Double top and the VWAP. For it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. There we go. Bop right there. All right. Let's see what other stonks we got going on here. Somebody requested FATN again. Let's take a look at FATN. FATN did have a nice move. We called it earlier in the morning prior to that 104% move. But it looks like now FATN is falling back down a little bit below. It's still below the VWAPA. Had a little bit of a curl, but then kind of dropped back down. Needs to break this descending wedge right here. FATN needs to break the descending wedge and the VWAPA. There we go. Needs to do that. All right. Alex says SOAR is cooking off at 65 cents. SOAR. Yes, sir. Yes, it is. It's now 88 cents. It's cooking off nicely. If you got in at 65 cents, brother, whoo, you got in nicely. You got in at a schmexy price, brother, man. Yes, sir. All right. Now, if you got in at that point, you get right over meow. Boom. Yeah, you made a nice profit there. It is now 88 cents. 88 cents, ladies and gentlemen. Currently up 88 cents. It is 36% up. There we go. SOAR still climbing still shooting up like a rocket, still doing its thing. Honestly, I gotta say I like SOAR out of all these right now. So we'll see what happens there. SOAR. Shooting up like a rocket there. All right. Alex says, saw a double bottom on the 1 minute. Looks real schmexy. Ah, ha, ha. See? Alex is using it now. Now Alex is using it. Ha, ha. There we go. My man. See? See what I tell you, DBO moms? The schmexiness, it'll spread like wildfire. You didn't believe me. You didn't believe me when I said the schmexiness spreads like wildfire. All right? But it be like that. It be like that sometimes. You sometimes you wake up, you're schmexy. You know what I mean? It's a state of mind. You know what I mean? It's a state of mind. It's a state of mind with the schmexiness. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. All right. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Give me just a sec. Over here. All right. Hold on just a second. Boom, right there. Just gotta fix this real quick. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. So, as of now, SOAR, yeah, it's looking real schmexy right now. And yeah, I can see the double bottom right here, and I'm on the 5 minute right here. So, yesh. As of now, a little bit of schmexiness right over. Hold on. Right over, yeah, a little bit of a double bottom right. Move it a little bit more up there. All right, around there. 71 cents. There was a double bottom. shot up like a rocket. Now it's up 88%, 88 cents, not 88%, 88 cents, 34% up. SOAR moved up nicely, moved up rather nicely. So we shall see what happens. Hold on. Get this stretching. Ooh, all right. It hit that 88-cent mark. Now it's pulling back a little bit, but it did hit that 88-cent mark right there. Let me refresh it a little bit because I think the chart is a bit frozen. Ah, there we go. Yep. Pulled back a little bit. Pulled back a little bit. It did. Which happens. It happens. That stuff happens. So really what it needs to do now is it needs to break. Hold on. It needs to break above the descending wedge over here. It needs to break above that descending wedge. It needs to break above that double top at 87 cents because that is a major resistance point for it. Major resistance point for it right now. So SOAR needs to break the descending wedge and the double top for to be schmexy to mya. All right. So yeah, there we go. There we go. Hold on one second. All right, I'm back. I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back. All right. So, let me see, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see. All right. Somebody requested FUSE. All right, let's take a look at FUSE. Fuse. Let's see what's going on here. Down 3%. Not looking too schmexy right now. Very choppy. All right. Needs to break this double top as well as this little pennant right over here. So it's got a little bit of a pennant over here. Needs to also break this double top right here. So it has to break the double top at $2.88 and needs to break the pennant as well and the VWAP. So not looking too good here. Fuse needs to break the double top, pennant, and the VWAP. And the thing is, it's falling below the VWAP. It's like moving below it. It's not like staying above it. It's not doing anything like that. It's moving below it. And it also has to break that double top right there. So, not looking too good there. Let's take a look at the float and volume. Float is unknown. Volume is 1.5 million. And it's moving down 2.59%. Not looking schmexy to mya as of this point in time. Let's see what other requests we have here. Somebody requested LIMN. LIMN. Let's take a look at LIMN. LIMN up 12%, but is on a downtrend. So that's great. No, but yeah, you're currently on a downtrend. Need to break that downtrend. Needs to break the VWAPA. LIMN needs to break the downtrend and the VWAPA. Let's see what other stocks we got here. What other stocks are you guys requesting? LTRX. Okay, we'll take a look at LTRX. LTRX. All right. LTRX. Wow. Nope. Yeah. Alex says SOAR just fell below VWAP. Also, thing looks like burnt toast. Yeah. Yep. 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 I felt that, Alex. It was schmexy for a time. You know what I mean? Like, you know what it is? It overbought itself on the RSI. It was overbought on the RSI. It had to pull back and compensate for it. You know what I mean? So right now, let's take a look at LTRX. Up 2.9%. Okay, very choppy. Not schmexy at all. Look at this choppiness over here. Chop over here. Chop over here. Chop over here. Chop over there. And chop over there. Yeah, Not looking too schmexy as of this point in time. Did have Q2 earnings confirmed for tomorrow at Wednesday, February 4th after market close, and they have a conference call scheduled for tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. But LTRX kind of not looking too schmexy right now. Not looking schmexy as of this point in time. LTRX needs a lot of volume, very choppy. LTRX, very choppy. And needs a lot of volume for it to be even remotely schmexy to me. There we go. All right. Yeesh. All right, let's see what other stonks we have here. What other stonks we got? All right. Somebody requested IBRX. IBRX. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. IBRX. IBRX as of now. Let's take a look. All right. IBRX. Wow, that's trash. Okay. All right. Let's be real here. It's very choppy over here, over here, over here, over here, over here, over here for sure, and then over here as well. IBRX is very, very choppy. Very, very choppy. As of now, IBRX, very choppy and low on volume. Needs both of those things for it to be so much schmexy to me. Is up 0.02%. Not looking too good as of this point in time. All right, somebody requested TE. Let's take a look at TE. All right. TE as of now, also choppy. Choppy over here. Choppy over there. Choppy over here. Choppy over here. Over here. All right. Choppiness just everywhere, okay? Little bit of choppy over here. A little bit of choppiness over there. There's more chop here than the butcher's shop. So, you know, you got that going on. TE's got more chop than the butcher's shop. That's what I'm going to say from now on. All right, TE has more chop than a butcher's shop. TE has more chop than a butcher shop. That's what we got going on. I mean, wow, it's choppy. Choppy, choppy, choppy. There we go. Somebody requested NAMM. All right. NAMM, again, also pretty choppy. Again, NAMM is one of those stocks that's like, you know, like sometimes it has its good days and then other times it has its bad days. And it's like, you know what I mean? Ugh. You know what I mean? Like it has those good days sometimes, but it has its bad days. But I mean, Alex came into it at $4. He made his money. I'm happy for him, but it is pretty choppy. I will give it that. I'll have to say it is kind of choppy as well. So we got that going on right there. Needs lots of volume, NAMM. Needs volume, though. It is moving up. It did move up very nicely. Had a nice move up here. All right. But again, it's one of those things that it does need a bit more volume. A bit more volume for this thing to be somewhat schmexy to me. You know what I mean? So NAMM, as of now, needs more volume. NAMM needs more volume. All right, needs to stay above that VWAP as well. Needs to stay above that VWAP. Nom needs to stay above the VWAP. Very nice. All right, but it is kind of consolidating a little bit more. It's at 448, so we'll see what happens there. We shall see what happens there. All right. All right, all right, all right. Let's see here. Okay. All right, let's see. All right. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Hold on. Let's take a look here. 1 second. 1 second. On 1 second. All right. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. I'm back. Give me 1 second here. Just fixing something up real quick. Just fixing something up. Yes. All right. Okay. Let's see here. All right. All right. All right. All right. There we go. Wonderful. Okay. Beautiful. 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 All right. All right. All right. Let's see what other stocks we got here. Let's see what other stocks we got here. All right. Somebody asked for EDBL. EDBL. Okay. EDBL. Edible. All right. EDBL, as of now, not looking too schmexy to me. Choppiness over here and over here and over here. Not a lot of volume. There's also a lot of chop in this area over here. You see it goes from here to here to here to here to here. Not looking schmexy. All right. A lot of choppiness. All right. So as of now, EDBL. EDBL. Choppy. And low volume. Needs volume for it to be so much maxi to me. Let's get a share party going. Let's get the 1400. Let's get the 1400, ladies and gentlemen. 1400, 1400, 1400. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Let's take a look at FATN. FATN. How's FATN looking? FATN looks like it's trying to curl off that descending wedge a little bit. So there we go. There we go. There we go. All right. FATN trying to curl off that descending wedge. All right. FATN trying to curl off the descending wedge right there. Still needs to break that VWAP as well. So we'll see what goes on there. We shall see what goes on there. All right. NPT. NPT. All right. NPT currently, as of now, hold on, let me just zoom in the room. Not looking schmexy. It is consolidated below the VWAP. Below the VWAP. NPT consolidated below the VWAP. There we go. Boom, right there. All right, let's take a look at SOAR. SOAR. SOAR trying to curl off the descending wedge. There we go. Curling off that descending wedge right there. SOAR. Curling off the descending wedge. So it's got that going on right there. It is still above the VWAP. Pull below the VWAP just a little bit and then curl back up. So that's good. I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. All right. Let's see what else we got. TIRX. Shot up above the VWAP. Shot up above the VWAP. There we go. All right, TIRX price spike below. Price spike broke the VWAP. TIRX curled and shot up, breaking the VWAP. All right, up 54% and climbing as of now. Wow, TIRX is moving and grooving and grooving and moving. It's moving and grooving right now. Let's get some support and resistance lines on it. Let's get some support and resistance lines on that stock right there, because it did have a nice push. Support currently at the 11-cent mark. Has to break above 12. Can it continue to climb? We shall see. Up 52%. TIRX needs to break that high a day. Needs to break the high a day. Or actually, you know what? Over here. Hold on. All right. Boom. And then boom. Okay, so we right now 11 cents is the support line, 13 cents is the resistance. Has to break above 13 cents for it to really be schmexy to me. That's what we got going on. That is what we got going on. So TIRX needs to break above 13 cents. Needs to break that high a day. TIRX needs to break the high of day for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. There we go. There we go. All right. But looks like it's pulling back a little bit because it is a little bit overbought in the RSI, so it's pulling back a little bit. So we'll see what goes on there. All right, so. All right, let's see what else we got. INLF. Zoom in the room. All right. INLF shot upward. Then started curling back down. So it's still making another descending wedge off the descending wedge. So we'll see what goes on there, but it needs to break that VWAP. So INLF made another descending wedge. Needs to break it and the VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. There we go. Needs to break both of those things right there. All right. How's SOAR doing? SOAR is still moving. Still climbing its way on up. Still climbing its way on up right there, ladies and gentlemen. Still climbing its way on up right now. Looks like it's starting to consolidate a little bit. Little bit of consolidation. Right there at the 81-cent mark right there. 81 cents. 81 cents. So SOAR needs to break the double top right there for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. Let's see what happens there. Needs to break 81 cents. All right. Let's see how FATN is doing. FATN still below the VWAP, needs to still curl. Still consolidated. FATN still consolidated below the VWAP. FATN still consolidated below the VWAP. Yes. All right. HCAI currently curling above the VWAP. That's good. I like that. So HCAI curling above the VWAP right now on an uptrend, nicely breaking the VWAP. Has H1 earnings unconfirmed for 14 days right there. From now on to Tuesday, February 17th, before the market open. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 1700. Let's get to 1700, ladies and gentlemen. We are 3 minutes away from the bell. The bell. HCAI temporarily broke that VWAP. Temporarily broke the VWAP. Needs to curl back up. But looks like it formed a double top right over here at 32 cents right there. 32 cents. 32 cents right there. All right. How's SOAR doing? SOAR, how you doing? How you doing, SOAR? Nope. SOAR's pulling back a little bit. Let's see what other stocks we got. Let's see what other stonks we got. CYN. Let's see how CYN is doing. CYN. Hold on. CYN. 1 second. There we go. CYN. There we are. All right. Got that signal a little cleaner. There we go. Has news that Syngenev shares are trading higher after the company announced a collaboration with NVIDIA to accelerate the commercial deployment of its autonomous vehicle solutions. There we go. That's good news for the stock. Good news for the stock. It is, well, it went up, but now pulled back below the VWAP. But it does have some good news. Right there. So we'll see what happens. We shall see what happens there. All right. All right. CYN, as of now, needs to break this pennant and the VWAP for it to really be so much maxi to me. Is kind of consolidated below the VWAP. CYN needs to break the pennant and the VWAP for it to be so much maxi to mya. There we go. All right. Somebody request. Let's take a look at PTIR. PTIR curled Curled and broke the VWAP, but is still very choppy. PTIR. Curled and broke VWAP, still choppy. So we'll see what goes on there. All right. But now it's time for the bell. The bell. It deafens me. All right. All right. All right. All right. There we go. PTIR. Now dropping like a rock. Oh, no. Not looking schmexy there. Not looking schmexy. How's FATN looking? FATN is pulling back a little bit. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 1900. Let's get to 1900, ladies and gentlemen. 1900, 1900. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, all right, all right. All right. Let's see here. So, right now it's time for the bell. Yeesh. So, let's take a look at TIRX. TIRX shot up like a rocket. Shot up like a rocket once again. Broke the high a day. All right. Now has resistance at 15 cents. TIRX shot up and broke the high of day. TIRX shot up and broke the high of day. Up 79%. 79% right there. There we go. There we go. Hit 93% actually there. So TIRX shot up to 93%. Excuse me. TIRX shot up 93%. Looks like it's curling its way back up again. Now again, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens now. Come on now. Come on. Come on, TIRX. Come on. Make Papi Chulo proud. Make Papa proud. Come on now. All right, come on now. Come on now. Yeah, come on. Come on. All right. All right, all right, all right. All right. Let's take a look over here. Oh my! TIRX new bagger. TIRX new bagger. Where a pen at? What a pen? Pen. Mine. Pen. Nope, that's not the right pen. That's not the good pen. The good pen. Is this the good pen? Is this the good pen? TIRX 105. Oh my, it is a new bagger. Yes. Yes, good. Quite good. Jolly good show. Jolly good show right there. Yes. Yes, good. Yes. Yes, it is like an elder model Jaguar. Alright, yes, good. Yes. Yes, TIRX new bagger at all times. Yes, new bagger, TIRX, new bagger. Yes, up 105%, up 105%. Yes, very good. Yes, it is up 105%. All right, we called it early in the morning, early. I mean, early in the morning. Yes, and it went up to a nice, beautiful. All right. All right. Let's see. 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right. I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it is now 113%. Yes. Hit 113% new bagger. Yes, TIRX. The new bagger. Broke the high of day. Up 113%. Yes, good, good. Jolly good show. Yes. All right, let me put this over here. 1 second. Right, let's put this 113. 113% right there. 113%. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right. All right. Went from like posh to like southern accents. So there we go. Right there. There we go. All right. So Alex says SOAR is pushing towards being a banger at 93% at 92 cents. Yeesh. Good. Very good. Very good. I like that. I like the sound of that. I like the sound of that right there. All right. We called TRX, by the way, early in the morning. Early. I'm talking, we called this stonk. Wow. Hold on. I got to go all the way back. We actually called this stock yesterday and this morning. So we called it yesterday. It was at 22%. This morning, we called it at 45%. And then it ran up to a nice 113%. I'm just saying, it'd be like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So TRX, there we go. Called it yesterday at 22%. Called it this morning at 3:02 a.m. at 45%. So, yesh. So as of now, let's take a look at SOAR, SOAR. How's SOAR doing? SOAR went up nicely, pulled back. SOAR's been going up and then pulling back a little bit as of late. It's been like breaking through like just resistance lines, basically. SOAR's just been busting through resistance lines like it was the Kool-Aid man. And yeah, I'm here for it. SOAR. Broke the double top and shot up. Needs to curl off the second pull back for it to remain somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. As of now, that's what we got going on for it. That is what we got going on for it right there. All right. There we go. All right. There we go. Let's see here. Boom. All right. There we go. Yeesh. Okay. All set up. Oh. Alex says, my chart was off, just reloaded. Not sure where the 93% came from. I mean, SOAR was moving up quite a bit. I don't know if it was up 93%. Could just be, could be anything really. But as of now, it's just pulling back right now. It's pulling back, so it is what it is. SOAR did have a nice run, though. I'll give credit where credit's due. It did have a nice run. Let's take a look at BEG and USGG, because BEG came in. I don't think it's got much volume. Yeah, not a lot of volume. See, take a look. Look at all this. All that. Look at all that. Expensive, choppy, BEG shot up on low volume. I don't trust it. It shot up on low volume, but All right, USGG. All right, same deal. A lot of choppiness over here. Take a look at all that right there. Chop, and more chop. Double top. Right there, needs to break that double top. USGG needs more volume and needs to break the double top. USGG needs a lot of volume and needs to break the double top. All right. TIRX 120%. TIRX 120. Oh my. It did hit 120, didn't it? It did. Oh, I looked away for 5 seconds. I looked away for 5 seconds, Alex. I looked away for 5 seconds. And they grow up so fast. I tell you what, TIRX they grow up so fast. TIRX up. Shot up 120% right there. Pulled back, obviously, but it shot up a nice 120%. Oh, my. Oh, hold on. It's still going. It's still going. Oh, my. It's testing the high of day. Here it goes. Come on now. All right. Yeesh. TIRX testing the high of day. There we go. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. But that's pretty much it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share, because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. And, of course, oh, my God, TIRX is up 132%. 132%. Wow. New bagger. It didn't want me to leave. It didn't want me to leave. I know you don't want me to leave you. Oh, my. It's 145. 145. TIRX shooting up like a rocket right now. Oh, my. Oh, my. Ay, ay, ay. There we go. We called it again. Called it at 3:02 a.m. this morning, ladies and gentlemen. TIRX up 145%. 145% right now. 145% right there. Oh my. TIRX up 145%. 145%. There we go. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share, because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. And, of course, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We're just made different. And the early bird gets the cash. The moolah, the loot's, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yeesh. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we got going on for today. Be sure to check us out on our YouTube channel at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money, where we do lots of live streaming, lots of reviews, lots of stock reviews, stock analysis, lots of videos, lots of short videos. We do lots of shorts, all sorts of cool stuff. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on there. Ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. Remember to share. Remember to share. Share it up. Share it up. You know what I mean? All right. And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to check us out on our X.com, a.k.a. Twitter. Oh, my God. TIRX is up 158. Be sure to check us out at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money. All right. TIRX 158% right there. Oh, my. Doesn't want me to leave. It wants me to stick around. It wants me. It misses me. It says, don't leave. Don't leave. I still got more. You know what I mean? That's what it's got. So, yeah. Be sure to check us out on our X.com, a.k.a. Twitter, at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money, where we do lots of stock reviews, stock analysis, all sorts of cool stuff like that. Hold on. We do lots of live streaming on X.com as well. All right, so be sure to check us out there. Be sure to hit us with like a little heart and a follow. All right, be sure to get all that stuff there. Again, at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money. You can find us on Twitch, where you should be able to, where we do lots of live streaming. Be sure to like and follow us there as well. At Coaching Money. At Coaching Money. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. Be sure to like, follow, and share. At Coaching Money. At Coaching Money. Be sure to check us out on our TikTok, Tiki Taki, aka the Tac Tac. The Tac Tac. You can find us there at DBL Nicks. At DBL NICKS, and the screen name is Coach Nick Money. Yeesh. So, the reason being for that is, yeah, it'd be like that. So, yeah, be sure to check us out there. Be sure to like and follow us on there as well. All right. And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out our show coming out at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time called Power Plays. It is a show hosted by the legend himself, Coach Nick Money, as he traverses through the stock market prior to Power Hour and basically takes a look at each and every one of the stocks, says, hey, gives his honest analysis on it, right? And then he lets them stocks simmer on high heat while he gets some dubs in Fortnite, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, be sure to check that out as well. Be sure to check out Power Plays. It'll be coming at you at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be ready, ladies and gentlemen. Be ready for it. All right. It is a wonderful show. He is awesome at what he does. And yeah, be sure to check us out and be sure to check that out on YouTube. Be sure to check it out on X. Be sure to check it out on Twitch, because that's where he'll be streaming. Be sure to check all that stuff out. And ladies and gentlemen, be sure to also check out our 4-day trial for the real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We're just made different, and the early bird gets the cash. Be sure to check out our... Right, you get access to amazing stuff. You get access to our CNN War Room, which is basically a chat room for all of our indelible patrons, where basically everybody just shares their ideas, their thought processes, their analyses, etc. And basically everybody just helps each other grow, helps each other out, basically helps each other, become better than they are, helps each other basically. We like to raise each other up, you know what I mean? Because, we all like to make money, right? But it's even more fun to make money together. You know what I mean? So, yeah, be sure to check that part out as well. CNN War Room is awesome. It is a wonderful educational space where everybody kind of just lifts each other up and just helps develop themselves and become better at what they do. You know what I mean? Become better at stonks and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? And to top it off, you get access to our amazing scanners. Our market mover scanner, which is right over here, is one of these scanners. You basically get access to the ticker, price, volume, float, the change in percentage, as well as whether the stock is moving up or down, the time in which it was scanned, as well as hyperlinks to gain more information on the stocks, such as their news and their charts. So all that cool stuff right there. Be sure to check that out. That's all on the scanners. You also get access to the newsroom, which is right over here, which gives hyperlinks to articles, gives you a little synopsis of the articles, as well as hyperlinks to the tickers of the article, so you can get all the information, again, such as the stock price, volume, float, change, tickers, charts, etc., all that cool stuff. And all you have to do is just click those little hyperlinks there. And also, to top it off, ladies and gentlemen, you gain access to all that amazing stuff and more. All right, you gain access to the stock ticker tape, which basically shows stocks that are moving up at a nice rate, and a nice fast moving rate right there. And yeah, it basically shows the stocks moving up. It says, hey, this stock is moving up like crazy. We got our eye on it. That's what we're doing right there. That's pretty much what the stock ticker tape is. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to join the Wealth Builders package, you get everything that is in the real-time alerts and scanners package, plus you gain access to an exclusive Wealth Builders chat room on top of the regular chat room that you already have. You gain access to even more scanners. You gain access to basically our wonderful Wealth Builders content, exclusive Wealth Builders content, such as exclusive Wealth Builders picks, exclusive Wealth Builders courses, which have over 500 plus videos on that exclusive Wealth Builders course, behind the scenes footage. You get behind the scenes scripts. You get exclusive access to myself and Coach Nick Money, and all that wonderful stuff. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, and exclusive access to some of our archives. So yeah, pretty much that's it. Much love. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day and peace out. It's Double Nicks. I love you guys. I'll see you guys at 1:30 p.m. on Power Plays with the Coachmeister General. And of course, I'm here with the lovely Serengeti specialist who likes to hang around the tall weeds, the high trees, the low seas, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she likes 2 cups of coffee. Other times she likes to jet ski. Other times she likes to regular ski. Other times she gets shot at the cannon and she goes, wee! Other times she likes to go to Arby's and watch videos of puppies and kitties and all sorts of other cool stuff like that. So, yes. Much love. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day. And peace out, everybody. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Say bye, DB Moms.
Bye, DB Moms.
It's Double Nicks. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with the one and only DB Moms.
Hey!
All right, and that's it. Now say goodbye,